Good Saturday morning, everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland, Michigan. Hope your Saturday is off to a great start, as always, and thank you so much for being here today. Mid-Michigan area, man, we have had it cold. I know most of the country's had it cold, and that really big storm missed us here in mid-Michigan, hit the lower parts of the state and the western side of the state. I know you guys on the Lake Michigan side got absolutely pummeled over the past week, and I know it's been cold, so I feel bad for folks down in Florida, and even I see somebody from Texas in here, and I hope you guys can survive it. I know that it treats you differently when you're used to temperatures, at least when it's cold, it's in the 70s. But here, what do we got today? Starting off, it's 11 degrees right now this morning, and it's been hovering right around there. So it's not too bad. Cloudy skies here. I don't know if we're going to see any sunshines today, but it would be nice if we did. So once again, thank you all for being here for our quick little update as we get into what's happening this week in the store. Give you a little tease of what's coming up on the podcast, as well as the latest update from Record Store Day. Lots of stuff going on, lots of vinyl coming in. After that week off of new shipments because of the holiday a week before, we now have a good stack of new vinyl in. So I'm going to dive into that here in just a couple of minutes and let you guys know what we still have left, what we can get more of, we hope to, and all the other goodies that are happening. Before we get to that, though, I want to just remind everybody that if you have not yet, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit that subscribe button. It's over here, actually. Try and see it right there somewhere. And that way you can either decide if you want to be notified if we put up videos, some of them or all of them. But if you're subscribed, it helps the channel out a lot. And it also goes a long way to promoting us in the YouTube algorithm, especially if you like and comment and do all those types of things too. And I know that when we do the live chats like this, sometimes the comments are available and sometimes they're not. I haven't quite figured out why they do or don't do that on the YouTube side of things, but I'm seeing them now, and that's what counts. So let's go over and say a few good mornings to those of you out here giving up your morning to spend a little time with us today. Always appreciate it, as I mentioned. Dan, good morning to you. Hopefully all is well and you're staying warm. Mike, good morning from a little point south of us. Moon Invader from Maine. I saw you guys were getting it over there too, so hopefully you're all doing well. Thanks for being here. Fred on the west side of the state, speaking of that. And I know Grand Rapids, you guys, I think are probably second only to, well, the UP obviously is getting it, but even the Gaylord Grayling area has just been constant, pretty much snow down there. And I know that there's been a couple of big multi-car pileups on the west side of the state, so hopefully you're doing well. But thanks for being here, Fred, as always. Gerard, chilly morning, good morning to you as well. And Diesel checking in from Texas, and I hope you're at a point in Texas there where you're not getting too cold, but enjoying the day regardless. Pat, good morning, dudes and dudettes. I think we count. Karen, hey, good morning, Karen. Welcome here. TC from TKR Video Central. Happy Saturday to you. Betty from Toledo. It's cloudy down there. Yeah, I figured as much. Good morning. And Scott saying good morning. Good morning, Scott. Hopefully you guys are well. You're going to stop in to tell them I can let you know if something's on back order. Let us know if you get a chance to do that today. All right, folks. Quick update on Record Store Day. We are kind of in that in-between time, so nothing huge is happening unless you count the announcement of the Record Store Day ambassador. Each year, they name someone, an artist, to be a goodwill ambassador for Record Store Day. Just to kind of be a promotional aspect of that. They put out little pins. Remember, I know some of you collect pins. This year, they have announced that this year's ambassador is Bruno Mars. So congrats and welcome aboard. I think there will probably signal that there'll be a couple of cool Bruno Mars releases in the list. When we see that, and no, the list isn't out yet. It's not quite yet. But when we do see it, it should be, I'm going to guess, about mid-February. So at least 2.5 weeks out, we'll get that list. But as soon as the list is out there, trust us, we will put the posts up on all of our socials, letting you guys know where it is. And shortly thereafter, we'll put up our wish list link, so you can tell us what you would like, and we can put those orders in. If you're new to Record Store Day, I'm just going to toss it out there. The wish list is not an order form. You can't hold or reserve any Record Store Day releases. We put the wish list up when the big list comes out, so you guys can let us know what you want. That helps us in the ordering and makes things a lot more streamlined. So it's going to start getting hot and heavy here in about 2.5 weeks, so stick around for that. But again, the only update so far, well, there's a little behind-the-scenes update in the fact that we're getting some emails soliciting stuff. like their promo kit with the posters and stuff, usually from Dogfish Head. So that's already come out. So that means things are in the works. But yeah, the announcement of Bruno Mars is the next big thing. So congrats on that. Stay tuned, as they say, to our channel and our socials for updates all the way across the board. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, let's see, that we had taken the week off of new vinyl releases. And so I had a bunch of stuff stacked up and was hoping that there would be a few other things that made it in time, but they did not make it in time. So what we've got now, delayed from the first week, but I do have some copies now of the new Megadeth. This thing is, there's been a pretty hefty demand for this. Now, all I've got are copies of the black vinyl version. There was an indie exclusive made available to stores like ours. And with our week off, I'd hoped that we would get a couple copies of that. Not the case. All that showed up was the black vinyl version. And I know that I've got, I think, at least 3 or 4 pre-orders for the colored vinyl version of this, the indie exclusive. And they're going to show eventually. I'm just not certain when. So if you'd like to play it safe, you want to make sure you get one, come get one of these black vinyl versions. Here, let me get my thumbnail. There we go. So I think I've got 4 or 5 of these in stock. So plenty of these to go around. And when we do get the colored vinyl versions, once our pre-orders are met, I will let you guys know if we have any of those left. But safe than sorry. If you want to grab one of these, get them now, because they have been going. And I do believe the black ones are on back order already from our distributors. So like I said, I think I've got 4 or 5 copies of this left. If you want it, come snag it or let us know and I'll ship it out there. This thing's hefty, by the way. I think there's double LP 180 in there, but that's some hefty, it's a hefty little packaging they got going on there. The other big reissue from Friday, yesterday, was the reissue of Alice in Chains and their self-titled 30th anniversary, aka Three-Legged Dog, as you can see there. This is on, it's on something called highlighter yellow vinyl. So this is a double LP. Also, looks like, I don't remember if this was originally on a double LP or not. I'm trying to remember back on there. Somebody can correct me in the comments. But this one we do have. I've got ample copies of this too, 4 or so in the store. Maybe I'll put this as the thumbnail. There we go. All right. So if you want one, let us know here as well. But yeah, finally a legit reissue on that. About darn time, they're saying, from Alice in Chains. Other reissues recently, actually just Friday, reissued the Midnight Oil and their Diesel, not the Midnight Oil, you know what I mean, Midnight Oil and their Diesel and Dust LP. What a great album this is. Holy cow. I've got to find, I thought I had my original here, but it's at home, so I'll bring it in so I can listen to this. Won't be until tomorrow, but I've got plenty of copies of this to go around if you guys want one, but we'll be spinning that in the store. Not recently reissued, but snagged nonetheless. Living color and vivid. I wanted a copy of that to listen to in the store. Recent reissue from Friday. There were 2 of these that came out. Kind of caught everybody by surprise, especially our resident Prince fans on the customer side of thing. Richard, you know who you are there. Prince and Hit and Run Phase 1. 10th anniversary of this release. Available for the very first time on vinyl. There was a Phase 2 double LP. I'm out of that one. I've got 1 copy of this one left, and I should be able to get more of Phase 2 if anybody wants to pick up both of them. But yeah, I've got 1 copy of the Prince Phase. Can I do that? No, I can't do that. Phase 1. The Hit and Run is here. New compilation or reissue compilation. I'm trying to remember here. 1979, those are the tracks. 2003, 2026. So I think this was issued on once before in 2003, but it's Michael Jackson #1s. These are a double LP of a lot of basically his #1 hits. You can get pretty much just anything on here that is a big one from Michael. Yep, Thriller's on there. I don't know if it's the full-length Thriller or if it's an abridged radio version or not, but 1 copy of that. I can get more of that. Speaking of Stranger Things, we have got the Stranger Things 5 soundtrack. I'm kidding you, Michael Jackson fans. You know what I meant. One Last Adventure, music from the season 5 of the Netflix series Stranger Things. This is not the soundtrack. It is the music from. So you've got stuff on here. Michael Jackson. See what I did there? Let's see. Tiffany is on here. ABBA, the Chordettes. So they go back a little bit. Mr. Sandman by the Chordettes. Psychedelic Furs. David Bowie, Iron Maiden, the Pixies, Yellow with Oh Yeah, and it goes from there to Human Cannonball by the Butthole Surfers, to Floyd Kramer, and then the Cowboy Junkies. I've not seen this. I haven't really watched this since season 1 or so, but a lot of folks are into it. But 1 copy of that to go around here. It's on black vinyl, by the way. Other reissues I just happened to pick up from 2021, Yes put out an album called The Quest, and I do have a copy of this to go in. This, I think, was the first album without all of the original members, without any of the original members of Yes, but Steve Howe he produced this, and so there's some folks on here. I've not listened to it yet. I'm going to dig into this a little bit further. I do like some of the older Yes. We'll see how the 2000s era Yes holds up with this one. This is double LP. I believe it's on blue vinyl, and I believe it has a compact disc in there as well. Also grabbed a couple copies of a Judas Priest compilation, 50 heavy metal years of music, double LP comp on red vinyl from Judas Priest. Got a couple copies of that in for you. And then I was in the mood. I picked up a bunch of, and this is our big backlog of stuff. I picked up some live stuff, including, we've got one more of those Kiss soundboards. This one is the Tokyo soundboard. Yep, the Detroit Rock City Shout It Out, God of Thunder. But off the soundboard, Tokyo, recorded in 2001. One copy of that. And then I've got some unofficials. I get in those moods once in a while. So we've got a Rainbow, speaking of Tokyo, Rainbow, Tokyo 1980, Volume 1. And Volume 2. Volume 1 is a single LP with a lot of Rainbow cool big hits on there. Second one is a double LP and even more so. Limited edition colored vinyl. Color may vary is the description on that one. From Parachute Records, same company, AC/DC, Shot Down in the Big Easy, New Orleans broadcast 1996, but only Volume 1. I did not get a Volume 2. Those were sold out, but I just grabbed one of those. I did open one of these up. This is from Gimme Records. This is The Who, Old England, New England, the Massachusetts broadcast from 1970. Sound quality is pretty good on this, and the one I opened up, they didn't do too bad. It's not perfect, obviously, for a live album, but it's a very cool snapshot of The Who in 1970. Some stage banter on there as well. Nothing other special, just a double LP black vinyl, but still pretty darn cool on that one. And speaking of unofficials, this was recently released, and I've got another copy now. Neil Young and Bob Dylan. It's being billed as the original radio broadcast from Concord in 1988. Of course, this is an AI cover. They're doing a lot of that kind of junk now, I'm sure, because there's photographs, obviously, that exist. But the two shared a stage in Concord in 88, and this is an album commemorating that. I've not heard anything about the sound quality on this, but I'm assuming it's going to be halfway decent for them to go ahead and release this. But Like a Rolling Stone, Subterranean Homesick Blues, Masters of War, Man of Constant Sorrow is on here. Then you go to the Neil Young with Gates of Eden, Maggie's Farm. That's still in there too. In the Garden, You're a Big Girl Now. So I get a kick out of this. These bootleggers call it radio transmission. Okay, just say it was a broadcast for the radio or put out on the radio, whatever the case. We've got those. Check out our new release drop video hit yesterday for all of the other vintage vinyl goodies. If you were a Neil Diamond fan, not a Neil Young fan, you're a Neil Diamond fan, there's a whole bunch of that went out. We still have a bunch of that on there as well. Okay, back to the comments. Let me check and see who's chimed in since we said hello. Let's see. Rawlcast, good morning as well. Paul Stevens, 47 days till spring and counting. You're counting down there. Ryan's late, but he made it. Hey to you, sir. Gary and Doogie and the crew there. Good morning to you. Moon Invader, isn't that Michael Jackson the first time on vinyl? I believe it is. I'm thinking that the original copyright date was probably a CD release for that. But yeah, I think that I did read that before. That's the first time on vinyl for that Michael Jackson comp. Still a good one, though. So, and Lee Page, have a good day, sir. You too. And have fun. As always, I have fun all the time here, man. It's just, that's how I roll. It's always the case. Let me see if I can turn that off. All right, quick tease, and then we're out of here. Two Guys Talking About Records, the podcast available wherever you get your podcasts. We do this each and every week with our good friend Steve Carlson. It is on the Believe podcast network. It's here on our YouTube channel. And from Believe, by the way, you can pick that up on Spotify, iHeart, Apple, all the places you get your podcast, Amazon even as well. This week, Steve and I are going to go head-to-head. And we are going to debate whether or not the UK or the US has better punk rock in the classic era of punk. We'll put those two together. So we're talking late 70s, early 80s, UK versus US punk, and who's got that better. So that's coming up tomorrow on the Two Guys Talking About Records podcast. That goes up at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, wherever you get your podcasts. All right, folks, that is going to do it for this week's live update from Radio Wasteland. As always, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you pay attention to our socials for all the other goodies that we post from time to time. And please make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and hit like and comment, do all that stuff. So stay warm, all of you. We're almost through it. Today is, as I mentioned, the end of January. So it's January what? 73rd, 74th of day of January. But we're heading into February, which will be the shortest month of the year, except the longest here in Michigan. Have a good one, folks, and we will talk to you all next week from Radio Wasteland Records. Thanks again for being here.